In this rebuild, I am taking charge of Inter Milan while my dad is going to be the manager of AC Milan. But at the end of the season, we're going to swap clubs. So I take over Dad's AC Milan side and vice versa. However, we are going to be swapping clubs at the end of every season. So once we have then managed each club 3 times using our usual point system, we will have our winner. So with this new dynamic added in, who comes out on top after managing each club 3 times across 6 total seasons? A reminder of the points tally is as follows. You gain 1 point for a higher league finish, 1 point for a victory over each other, 1 point for eliminating each other from a cup competition, 3 points for a domestic cup win, 4 points for a domestic league win, 5 points for a Europa/Europa Conference win, and 7 points for the Champions League win. Dad, in year number 1, you are the AC Milan manager.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
But in year number 2, you won't be.
No.
Because as we mentioned, we are trading clubs every single season. So in year number 2, you will be Inter Milan, which I am in year number 1. And in year number 2, I will be AC Milan. But to make it even, we're going to do 3 seasons at each club. So this is basically a 6-year rebuild for both teams. However, as we say, we won't be building the side that we want to every season because, I mean, we're going to make each other's clubs better.
As usual, it's very rarely we have the same tactic, is it?
No.
So we're obviously going to change tactics every season.
Yeah.
And that's what could make it really interesting because for one season, you try to build for one tactic.
Exactly. And to be fair, you kind of don't want to buy a player that's going to make the team really good next year.
No.
Which is maybe something that we need to think about during the transfers. So a lot of intricate things to think about. And we've both made one signing in the first inaugural summer for Inter Milan. I brought in Tony Martinez, a good backup striker. And that is because I've gone for a 5-3-2 in my first season.
Ooh, very defensive.
So I needed 2 good strikers. My best 11 looks like this. Got Thuram and Martinez. But of course, now I've got a good backup option as well in Tony Martinez. But that midfield is really good.
Some good players in there.
Yeah. Some decent defenders as well. This team's great. The fullbacks are fantastic. It's a great team.
Got a good keeper.
For season number 1. Dad, you made one signing.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It was Paulo
I was going to
Dybala.
play more attacking, so I needed a shadow striker come attacking midfield player. He fits the ball.
He does, yeah. You bought him in for £17.25 million after 1 season at Roma. And that was your only signing that you made.
Yeah.
So, tactically, you've gone for a 4-2-3-1. We can see the target forward is because of Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, good striker.
He is very good on
and he is still good now as well.
Yeah, he's knocking on. He's 36.
But good striker, though.
For 2 years, he is really good. He tends to retire after the 2nd season. Scores a lot of goals, as he's done for you already. 2 goals and 2 assists at the start of the season for you. So that's what our sides look like. That's what the tactics look like. Let's have a look at the schedule so far for AC Milan and Dad. Now, you've played 2 games in the league. So that one there was a friendly against Juve because they always do it in Italy.
Yeah,
they play each other right before.
They do that.
You played 2 games in the league and it was Torino and Lecce and you won both of those games.
Yeah, good. Easy start for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Lazio was going to be a bit of a tester.
Yeah, your Champions League group is a hard one. You got the group of death.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at my fixtures though for Inter Milan because I have also played 2 games and I have won both without conceding a goal. You mentioned
he was playing
I
very
might
defensive,
be defensive,
Yeah.
but that's 2 good teams in the Serie A and I've scored a lot of goals against them. My Champions League group is a little easier. Red Star and Antwerp.
I mean, you should be in the top
Barcelona.
2, shouldn't you? But I'm struggling, really.
All right, then. This one's going to be a lot of fun because, of course, you don't want to make your team too good because you're going to have to go against them next year. But let's find out how we get on in season number 1. Season number 1 and AC Milan are champions by 1 point.
Do you know, I didn't think we were going to be that close.
No. So, well done. You won your first 4 points there.
You drew more games. That's what lost it for you.
I did, yeah. You lost 4 games. You didn't lose against me in the league. However, I did lose against you. So you get another point on top of that straight away for doing so. Now, we're on Inter Milan, which is Oega Luke. And we will be changing the name each time as the manager. So don't worry, you won't get too confused. As well as the likes behind us will also match the team that we are in that current season as well, just to make it a little bit easier so you're not as confused as what we was when I was like, right, first I'm Inter Milan, right? Yes. Okay, now. Okay, right.
I just went colours in the end, didn't I? It's red. Oh, it must be me then.
Yeah, it's you. Okay, so how did I do on cup competitions? I won the Coppa Italia. However, Dad eliminated me from the Champions League semi-final.
I'm pleased with that. That means I got that far in that group of death.
Exactly. But I beat you in the Coppa Italia final.
I didn't need that.
Which meant I actually get 3 points plus beating you and another point for beating you in the final. Lovely stuff. Dad, did you win?
Did I win the big one?
Oh, you did as well.
Get in. First season in the bag. The double.
Real Madrid in the final as well. Wow. Fair enough. The semi-final, you actually beat me on penalties, which means that we won a game each.
Yeah.
Which means I get another win. I get another point. You get a point, obviously, for knocking me out, plus beating me in one of the matches, the first leg, by the looks of it. I get another valuable point there, which is quite good, really. We drew against each other in the other league game, which we knew about. You beat me in one. I beat you in the Coppa Italia, but I didn't beat you in the league. Now, obviously, we can see that we won one and lost one against each other, but you won on penalties, which is the reason why you knocked me out of the competition. So you get another point for that. We didn't play each other in the Super Cups, though.
No.
So the first game of the season was where you won there 2-1. So, quite a nice and easy one at the start there for points-wise, but 40 goals for Olivier Giroud. Which is great, and thankfully he's not retiring, so I get to use him. Because the first season we have without Olivier Giroud is going to suck for the person who is the AC Milan man, because you got to buy a striker. Now, Inter Milan, the team that you'll be taking over now, has Lautaro Martinez on form. Well. Yeah. We're not going to do anything cheeky where we sell players, right before the deadline, right before we swap over or anything like that. No dirty tactics. Once we've locked in our team in September, that's the team we're sticking with outside of losing players due to release clauses. We're not doing anything dirty tactics-wise. But the transfer budget you will have next season, Dad, at Inter Milan is £31 million.
It's a high wage budget, though, so it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So,
the transfer budget I have at AC Milan is just £20 million, so it's a lot less.
I mean, we know it's not going to be very much in the Italian league. Never is it? So
no,
it's
not
one,
to begin
it's
with.
one really good player in it.
Yeah, I mean, considering you just won the Champions League, that's
I thought I'd have been more than that.
Quite bad, actually.
Yeah, I bet you was gutted, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely fuming. So the last thing for us to do now is to retire as managers, so that we can add each other back at the opposite clubs, while I talk to you about the points. So the season points is as follows: Omega Luke with 5, Omega Dad with 14. Now this is weird, isn't it?
I don't feel right over here.
We've changed size to match the lights, so you guys don't get confused.
This seat's so low.
Right, so AC Milan. I am now the manager of AC Milan. Of course, we traded places. £28 million on the outs, and I brought in £62 million worth of players. But I did lose Benacer in January. I say Dad actually lost Benacer in January. £43 million must be a release clause. So I brought in Fagioli, £27 million from Juventus. Very good young Italian midfielder. And Pavlovic, £34 million for a left-footed centre-back. Although there's quite a few good players who play at centre-back at AC Milan. Of course, they got Tomori and Thiaw, who is a newish player, like 2 seasons I think they've had him now. This is the lineup that I'm going with. There's a few players who have returned from loan who will be starting, of course, Di Catalere being one of them. They didn't activate the optional future fee. Instead, he sticks around. I've got him in my side instead, but I'm of course trying to utilize that target forward of Olivier Giroud. So this is the side that I am running right now in a 4-1-1-4 type of formation. Dad, you became the manager of Inter Milan, and you sold £43 million worth of players, and you brought in £118 million, as you can see. Now, no players went out there, so you didn't have to worry about that. Carlos Augusto, Brazilian left back. Yeah. Gives you options. You got DeMarco, haven't you, at left back? So I don't think either of us really want to change the left backs.
No, I don't think I had a reserve left back, so I had to bring someone in, and he's a good player.
It's so weird looking at you from this way. Davide Fratesi is a deal that was already done, a loan to sign. So, but he's very good, I think, as like a centre midfielder on attack, because he's really good at finishing and composure and off the ball, and he gets forward whenever possible. You put a centre midfielder on attack, he just finds himself in the right position to score a lot of goals. It's whether you use that.
That's right, yeah.
Marko Arnautovic is another one that's already done from Bologna. He's 35 now, though. But Yaziki is the deal that you have done, and that is because you sold a few different types of players, including Esposito and the goalkeeper, which you have replaced too. But Yaziki is a centre midfielder, or a centre attacking midfielder, kind of like the shadow striker that you like to run. And Trubin is the Benfica goalkeeper that you signed to replace Jan Sommer. And I actually think this is a really good deal, because for a 23-year-old goalkeeper who probably is just as good, if not better, than Jan Sommer, and Jan Sommer is 35. Yeah. So, I mean, Jan Sommer's mentals are probably a little bit better, but overall, I think Trubin is a good goalkeeper. Yeah, and he's
doubled the price in value already.
Exactly, and he's only just a little bit more up front what you received for Jan Sommer.
I mean, I think you can tell that I'm going to change the tactics. Everybody knows me knows I'll change the tactics.
Yeah, you ain't going to play a three at the back.
Can I?
No, so you've gone for a 4-1-3-2, but it's kind of like a 4-2-2 style of formation. You got that box-to-box there with a deep-line playmaker who's dropped deeper. Thuram actually goes on the left-hand side from this, but you got Tony Martinez and Martinez up front. So you got Martinez and Martinez. Yeah. Yaziki, of course, in that attacking midfield role. It gives the license for Dumfries and DeMarco there to plough forward. I just wonder whether it's too attacking. You've only got 2 players there on defensive support. But schedule. Let's have a look at what you have done so far. You've played 3 games. Monza was a 2-0, 5-1 against Roma, 6-0 against Salernitana.
Working at the moment.
All right, let's see what I've been doing then. So I have played 2 games also. No, I've only played 3 actually. And I've also played the Super Cup, which I lost to Liverpool. But I lost to Juventus on the opening day of the season. It hasn't started well. Did beat Venezia, who were just newly promoted 4-0, but a draw away from home against Lazio is not a bad result. And Chiro Mobile actually equalised in the 82nd minute as well. That's not too bad. It's just that first game lost against Juve, but it's a difficult game. Yeah. Going away to Juve. So the Champions League fixtures for this second season, we can see we now go into the Champions League phase. These are the fixtures that I have been given. Probably should be qualifying from that. There's only 2 really difficult ones there in Barcelona and PSG, and even sometimes Barcelona's not that good. No. They've got Conte in there now, so that might be a little bit different now. And then yourself, Dad, your Champions League fixtures look like this. You've got Arsenal, your favourite club, Man City, Benfica can be difficult, Atalanta, of course, who's in our league and can cause some trouble. So
I think I should still qualify, though.
You should still qualify, I agree. So the points are quite close to begin with, but Dad took an early leap winning that Champions League. So let's see what happens in season number 2 when I take on the Champions League winning team. Well, it ain't good for Luke, because I have just been sacked at the end of the season. As you can see here, I was sacked on the 31st of the 5th, which is May, and that is the day before we returned, and I only finished in 3rd place. So I wasn't even that bad, really, but unfortunately I was sacked. And Dad didn't win the league or the cup.
Oh, I'll let you off there, am I?
You have.
Oh, so I'll let you off. I mean, you lose 10 points for a start. So
minus 10 points straight away. This is the only time where getting sacked earlier on, you can still salvage a win.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I'm backs against the wall to do it, but still, runner-up against Napoli in the final. As we know, I probably didn't win it because else I probably wouldn't have lost my job, but Napoli actually knocked me out of the semi-final, so you didn't knock me out, which would have obviously been the extra points. And in the Champions League, you got to the semi-final where PSG eliminated you. Where did I get eliminated from? From PSG as well, but in the earlier round, where you played Aston Villa, who managed to get into the Champions League in the first season. Okay, so Dad, you didn't quite capitalise on that. No, you get a point for finishing higher than me, and obviously I get minus 10 points. So technically you do gain 11. But did you beat me in the league? That's the question. No, but you did lose against me, which is actually a point to me because I was in charge when that happened. But we drew a game, so you didn't beat me in the league. Now, we also didn't play each other in the Super Cup either, so it was just the 2 games against each other in this season. So there we go. it's not too bad for me. In all things considered, it was kind of a let-off, if anything.
It definitely was.
Lautaro Martinez got 32 goals there for you.
He went down on last season, but
he's injured. Oh, he's okay. He's not too much of a big one. But Tony Martinez got 29.
yeah, so I gained there really, didn't I?
Yeah, and that's the player that I signed last season and didn't do very much for me. But he did get 29 goals for you. So that already has come back and bit me in the bum.
Yeah.
Because he did way better for you than what he did for me. Marcus Thuram had a okay season, I guess, there, but Çalhanoğlu, 21 assists is absolutely fantastic. One of my all-time favourite players, Çalhanoğlu. I just loved watching him play football when he was in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Big fan of Çalhanoğlu. We can't have a look exactly how I did while I was in charge, but Olivier Giroud, 25 goals, and he's retiring.
That's bad news for me.
So you go across to AC Milan, and
So I get a
straight
good budget.
away, yeah, you need a striker. Well, we can see the budget, £45 million. But we know that you just love selling players randomly anyway, so you'll probably accumulate a lot more than that. Inter Milan budget is 82 million, so I get a little bit more out of that.
This is the problem, because if you're successful, you get a better budget for the player next season.
Exactly. It's all
giving
down
you
to
a
how we
real
do
good-
against each other, not how the
real
club
good
does,
budget there,
really.
yeah.
Well, there we go. Okay, so we'll tally up the points, and then we'll see how much season number 2 has done damage to my chances of winning this versus rebuild. So season number 2's points is as follows. Omega Luke with -9, Omega Dad with 1, which means the total points are Omega Luke with -4 and Omega Dad with 15. Right, this feels a lot more normal.
Yeah.
I'm
better
back
now.
in blue.
I'm back in red.
You are, which means you're
In the better
manager
seat.
of AC Milan. I like the comments which always go, I always appreciate that Luke gives up the nice seat for
Yeah.
Dad. Hopefully, when I finally move house, we both get nice seats.
I'm definitely going to buy one soon.
Yeah, because these are awful to sit on. Now, we've come back at the same time, but we've got something to show you that happened in the summer. This is very rare, it happens normally, but we played each other in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't going to put anything towards it, but Dad said, no, it's a game against each other in a competitive game, and I won. And then he tried to retract his comment, and I went, no, 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 no.
Yeah, but was I Inter or was I AC at the time?
You wasn't Inter. We had already changed club. We changed right after the season ends so that we can do the transfers and prepare ourselves for the next season. So I was the Inter Milan manager, and I won 3-2 against Dad's AC Milan team. I didn't go very far, unfortunately.
Well, that one don't come back and bite me.
Yeah, I beat Sevilla in the quarterfinal and semi-final. I lost there to Real Madrid, who went on to win it. So, transfer-wise, for Inter Milan, because I'm now on minus points, although I did just gain 1 point back there.
Yeah.
I'm now on -3 points as we go into season 3. So I've got a lot to do. Thankfully, we're doing 6 seasons, so it's not going to be too bad. I just know I cannot get sacked again because that will just completely ruin any chance I have of coming back. Now, remember how much I said I love Hakan Çalhanoğlu? Well, at the end of the day, he was 31, and I did get a 77 million pound offer, which ain't bad.
I mean, who wouldn't sell him for that?
Exactly. Although he had a great season for me, and he played for both our clubs, which I think everybody always forgets. The traitor move on a free transfer to Inter Milan doesn't get talked about a lot, to be fair. But £70 million upfront cash, 73 in total on the outs, allowed me to spend a lot of money. Let's have a look at the players I brought in. Simon Profondi was basically his kind of replacement, that attacking midfielder that I really like. Good on set pieces as well. The free kick taking of 16 is great, and he's only 19 years old. £50 million from Udinese, but last season at Udinese he got 11 goals and 6 assists in just 19 games at 18 years old.
It's good, isn't it?
That's huge, really.
Yeah.
Christopher Ayer, £44 million for a guy who can play CDM and centre-back, and I like that a lot about him, so I think that was a good signing to begin with. Pape Matar Sarr, £85 million is a lot.
It is,
However, I already think he's a really good midfielder, and he has a 5-star potential, which suggests he can still go a lot better.
For me next season.
For you next season, but then for me in 2 seasons' time, when it's my final season at Inter Milan, I'm hoping then he'll be great. So 22 years of age, he's got a lot of time for him. I bought this signing because I'd spend money, and I thought, oh, Dad would really appreciate this for next year.
Squad player.
Yeah,
Can't beat him.
exactly. Trying to train him in goal. So he's very good. Dejan Ljubičić from Cologne, £16 million. I had some spare cash. But okay, that's the signings that I made. The tactic is very different to the last time I was here. Gone for a narrow diamond 4-4-2 formation because we've got a lot of really good centre midfielders now and not a lot of wingers, if at all. The starting 11, or my best 11, is kind of exactly how I want it to be, really. There's only a couple of like squad players that if I'm missing a couple of players, I'm like, okay, I don't mind them coming in. But that is almost perfect for me. That is exactly how I wanted it to be. Dad, let's have a look at your AC Milan team. And you have one new name, and we can see straight away, Lorenzo Luca.
Needed a striker, so I got him in. 35 million, I think it's a good price.
I mean, Udinese signed him last season. What a year they had for 16, players.
Yeah.
16 goals for this young man for just £6 million. So you spent £35 million on him to bring him in. He hasn't scored for you yet, but we all know how good Lorenzo Luca is. You only sold £4 million worth of players, but you did also bring in Bove from Roma. £23 million. You got to think about signing Roma players at the minute.
I was sticking away from the Arsenal players. That's why.
As soon as, like,
you know, I've just sold an Arsenal player. Or sold him to Arsenal, didn't I? Sold him to Arsenal. You can start selling them back to Arsenal.
Yeah. But so yeah, you keep signing. I mean, that was Dybala the first time you were AC Milan, and Bove the second time you were AC Milan.
Is Jose the manager there? Because me and him are on speed dial, see?
I don't know if he is or not.
No, he's
Michelle.
Gone now. Oh, right.
I don't know who you've been calling, but they've been pranking you. You've been sending money, have you, to Jose? But there we go. So tactically, Dad, your setup has to be seen in a 4-2-3-1, very much like your first season that you were here. But instead of a target forward, you've gone for a complete forward in Lorenzo Luca because he's really good at that, to be fair. He is a quality striker. How has it been playing out for you, though? You have drawn a game. You've played 3, you've won 2 against Fiorentina and 2-1 against Genoa with Lazio, a late winner.
A draw at Lazio, I think it's a good result.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. Let's have a look at your Champions League fixtures, though. How difficult is the Champions League for you this year? PSG, Bayern Munich. Other than that, it's games you should be winning. I mean, Leipzig and Villarreal is always going to be tricky.
Galatasaray never travelled away well, so I should win.
You should win that one quite easily, yeah. Okay, you should easily go through that. What about myself? Let's have a look. Now, I've played 3 games as well. I've conceded in each of them, Torino, Empoli and Atalanta, but I have actually won all 3, which is a great start. My Champions League fixtures look like this. Manchester City and Juve's in there as an away game. I've actually got to travel to Turkey, which is difficult, and I've got to travel to Dortmund. I think I've got the trickier one this time round. Yeah. I'm on minus points so far. I really, really need a good season. So let's see how I do in season number 3. Call them what you want, knee knockers or the twins, but our friends at Manscaped call them the boys. And when your little guys have more hair than what they should, it's time to take them to the barbers or the bathroom. They won't do that at the barbers. Because it's now time to trust in Manscaped for all your grooming purposes. Your boys need the love too. And you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you head to manscaped.com and you use my code Omega at checkout. Being a professional wrestler, I tend to shave a lot of my body parts to match the boys, and that includes my chest and my head, and of course I shave my beard too, and I use all of Manscaped's products, including the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with the skin safe technology and LED spotlight, not to mention it now has a foil blade so I can get smooth to the skin all over my body. Taking things on the go, Manscaped also has you covered once again because these trimmers also come with a travel case and even a travel lock feature to avoid it powering on at an inconvenient time. Because you don't want that vibrating in your carry-on bag when you're at the airport. Leave that embarrassment to the wife. But of course, there's loads of products Manscaped supply that I absolutely love, just like the Beard Hedge Trimmer Kit, which I use every single week as well. And all of it, once again, can be found at manscaped.com, and I'll leave a link at the top of the description. If you use my code OMEGA, you get 20% off and free shipping. And for the best that your boys has ever looked, trust in Manscaped. Season number 3, I'm back. There's some points claimed back. Remember, I'm into Milan. I'm the blue side. Every time I look at it, I'm like, no, it is me this time.
Only lost 2 games, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, 95 points for a runner-up, because last season, 88 was runners-up where you finished.
I pushed you all the way.
Yeah, it's been close. However, I only lost 2 games, as we mentioned, so I get 4 points for winning the league. The 2 that I lost, didn't lose to Dad. Then I beat him both times.
I can't believe that. That's what cost me the league then.
Yeah, 6 points. Not only in the amount that I got in the league table, but 6 points in total for winning the league and beating you twice.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. That is poetic justice right there. We're on Inter Milan. Can I add to that tally at all? Maybe with a Coppa Italia? No. Oh, semi-final of the Champions League as well.
Arsenal of all teams, eh?
Yeah, your favourite club. Knocked me out 4-2
I'm
on
not
aggregate.
there. That's disappointing.
But you're not there. Real Madrid went on to face Arsenal in the final. I mean, it's still a good day for you because Arsenal won it.
Get out of it.
Semi-final of the Coppa Italia. I could really do with you not winning that. Did you? Or did you not? Oh, you did.
Get in.
What I will say is, although you get 3 points for that, 1, you didn't knock me out.
No.
But 2, I beat you in the Super Cup, which is an extra point. So I only lose 2 points there. So that's not too bad. Now, you beat Napoli in the final, as we know, because they knocked me out. Only 1-0, so it was a tight game. But it's still a trophy, and it's still 3 points there for you, Dad. So it's not too much of a bad season.
I got to the quarterfinal of the Champions League.
And look who knocked you out. Thank you for reminding me.
Didn't see that. Just seen quarterfinal and I thought, hello, I got
quarterfinal of the Champions League by Internazionale. 5-3.
So I beat you the first leg.
You beat me in the first leg.
Oh.
So you get a point for that.
Then you get a point for winning the second game.
And knocking you out.
Yeah.
So I get 2 points for that. If that makes sense to you. That's how we do these. Just in case you're very new here, that's how we do it. So we take the individual game as it is. So Dad beat me in that first leg. He gets the point. I then get the point for the second leg, but I get another point for knocking him out of the competition. That's how those points work. So if you do actually face each other in the Champions League, there's a chance that you could actually get 3 points for winning both legs and then knocking them out. I didn't get that this time round, but that is a possibility. All right, Dad, we're on yours right now, AC Milan. Let's have a look at the goals. Lorenzo Luca has done great for you, considering you lost Giroud.
Yeah.
33
First
and
season,
12.
that's good. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, nice. Keep him nice and fiery for me. Lovely, because now he's going to be my striker. Di Catalare is a great season for him as well. 19 goals, 16 and 15 for Rafael Leao. Not too bad. What about your transfer budget? Or should I say, my transfer budget for next season? 48 million.
It's not bad. Big,
it's a big wage.
Budget,
yeah, it's a big wage.
One thing they do in Italy, though, they do pay a big wage, don't they?
They do, to be fair.
So if you get rid of a couple of players, all of a sudden that goes sky high, doesn't it?
Yeah. 28 goals for Lautaro Martinez, 23 for Thuram. Fratesi, 21 and 14. I mentioned how good that man is.
Yeah.
At going forward. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed with Profundi.
Yeah.
Bringing him in as kind of like my creative midfielder and only getting 10
with 11 assists,
and 11 assists in 34 games. It's not amazing, no. DeMarco's done work great though with that 16 assists there. And considering Carlos Augusto got 13 assists and he was the backup. Transfer budget for you next season when you take over my Inter Milan side, 86.
I'll take that.
I'll bet you will. Right, well, it's time for me to retire as manager of Inter Milan. It's time for Dad to retire as manager of AC Milan. And it's time for us to swap seats again. Not before I tell you the points, though, because the season points are as followed. Omega Luke with 10. Omega Dad with 4. Which means the total points are Omega Luke with 6. And Omega Dad with 19. Dad, you signed a Spurs player.
Yeah.
Surprised you did that as an Arsenal fan, but there we go. £75 million for Yves Bissouma.
Good, strong midfield player.
He's 30 years old and he's spending £75 million.
I'm only here for another 2 seasons.
One and then, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're getting just as confused as you possibly are. You might be alright because you can see the colours. So you know straight away by looking. But yes, you are Inter Milan and we are in season 4 now. So you get to do them twice and I get to do AC Milan twice. And I've only got one more season left at Inter. You've also signed Asensio for £50 million. And Gabri Vega was a free transfer for you.
Yeah, it was good signing for a free transfer, I thought.
Yeah, so a lot of midfielders in there.
Make it a little bit stronger than midfield.
Tactically, you've gone for a standard 4-2-3-1, just kind of offset in a couple of the positions there. So you've got Barella and Bissouma as a best 11 in that midfield. Profundi and Martinez up top. Asensio cutting in from that right-hand side. So whereas I went without any wingers with this Inter Milan side, you're using wingers and bringing them in. So I think obviously you've also brought in Carboni, I think, from your youth academy into the starting 11 or starting first team, should I say. Let's have a look at my AC Milan side. Now I've also gone for a 4-2-3-1 style of formation. not locking anybody in, but I've only brought in 2 midfielders. We've both just brought in midfielders. That's all we've done. Ruben Neves. I also went to Saudi Arabia and got a freebie in Ruben Neves. Neither of us have gone to Frank Kessie. I don't know. Shocked. The other player I brought in was João Gomez. Very good Brazilian centre midfielder for £62 million off of Wolves. Look at those mental attributes. Disgusting. Yeah. And he's only 25 years old, but he's injured. So he's out for 3 weeks. But there we go. As I mentioned, we're doing a 4-2-3-1 kind of offset as well. Di Catalere keeps his position in there. That was the only position that I thought I might want to change. But I didn't want to come away from the 4-2-3-1. I was tempted to go to a 4-3-3 to allow Ruben Neves to come on the pitch with Reinders, but I decided to keep it as it was, and there's a reason for it. I've started the season quite well. 3 wins from 3 so far. Torino 1-0, 2-1 against Palermo, and 2-1 away from home against Roma. I felt comfortable. I didn't want to change it too much. My Champions League fixtures are Bayern Munich, Benfica, Lugano, Rennes, Club Brugge, Barcelona, and Inter Milan. There's an extra fixture between us in season number 4. Yeah. Interesting.
You all were away.
You even looked. Oh, well done. You got me. Sorry it took nearly a second for me to get your joke. Oh, right, okay. The banter in this house is unbelievable, as you can imagine. You have played 3 games so far as well. Lazio draw 0-0.
No matter which team I'm in charge
Why
with.
were you playing at my stadium? Oh, you looked! You looked! Bologna 4-3 is a good result, actually, because they got some cracking players, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Napoli 4-0.
That's a good result.
Yeah, very good against a Napoli side. Dad, your fixtures, if they're correct, you should be playing me at one point.
Yeah.
They are. Away from home as well.
Barcelona.
You've also got Barcelona. You've got Spurs.
Oh, it's a hard game, that is.
Yeah, the worst of the 2 teams in North London.
That still should go through, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's have a look. It's season number 4. You're about, let me have a look at the points tally here. You're 13 points ahead of me so far.
I think one more good season, mate, and you're done.
One more good season, that could be me done completely. Kaput. Let's have a look to see how season number 4 gets on. And AC Milan has won the league, which, yes.
Looking at the...
I was worried,
You were
but I managed
the whole
it.
season as well, look.
Yeah. Lorenzo Luca with 36 goals. What a man.
We're dominating this league, though, aren't we?
We are, actually. We are. We're doing very well. Obviously, Juve won 1 season. Been there or thereabouts each time, haven't we? I lost 3 fixtures, though, Dad. I only drew 3 as well. It's actually a bat 99 points in a 38-game season. In the Italian league, which, by the way, has some cracking teams in it. Yeah, I always think they have the most good teams outside of the Prem. Yeah. How many games?
The odd team that comes through, like a Torino or something.
Yeah. Salernitana was once like really good. One season we did. Yeah, Atalanta's obviously cracking too. How many games did I lose against you though? None. Did I beat you in any? Yes. So there's 4 points win the league. Another point there for beating you. And yeah, we drew 0-0 when you were at home. You drew a lot of games 0-0, by the way. Yeah. 5 out of your 6 was 0-0. You were lacking goals. Probably because you were wingers.
Goals for, look, you had 102, I had 85.
Yeah. So we both conceded very little.
Yeah.
16 for me and 38.
That's good.
That's less than a goal every other game. Yeah. I do the quick maths in my head then. I was like, no, half of 38 is 19, which you had. You had a very good record, only conceded 19. But somehow, 16 goals only in those 38 games. Okay, we're on Omega Luke. AC Milan. Let's have a look to see if I won any of the cup competitions, because I kind of need it. No. Quarter-final by PSG. We do need to remember to check.
We did play during the group stage.
Yeah, the group stage. Semi-final of the Coppa Italia, and you reached the final and won it. So that's 3 points. I'm just looking at the Super Cup to see whether I played you or not, but we didn't. So I won that, but I didn't play you in it. We don't count the Super Cups as cup competitions for points, but if we play against each other, that's a point, but we didn't. Inter Milan, did you win the Champions League or not? Round of 16 by Arsenal. Still a good season for you, winning the cup.
Won the cup. So
and finishing on 90 points. Yeah. So, 37 goals for Lautaro Martinez. He ain't got a bad injury, is he? No, 2 to 3 weeks. All right, you should be back. We're all good. We're fine. 17 from Carbone, who's been just put into the side recently with 10 assists. Not bad. This team needs more goals, though, and I'm coming back in. I think I might have to go back to that diamond. That will work me quite well. We'll have to build it again. That's the only thing. We're not saving any tactics. We're literally just rebuilding them again, which is each time obviously from resigning. Milan, let's have a look. 36 goals for Lorenzo Luca. Di Ketelere got 18, 15 for Leal, 13 for Pulisic, who's up there doing quite well. Teo Hernandez, the left back, 11 goals and 14 assists is very good.
But he is a good left back.
He is cracking. Yeah, he's very good. Transfer budget for you, Dad, when you take over AC Milan is £48 million. Transfer budget for me when I take over Inter, 89. Good. I've got a bit of money. But Champions League, there's one last thing for us to check. The stages, PSG won, by the way. That's something they can't do in real life. I don't think I have to worry about PSG fans being mad at me. No. Never mind. League phase, who beat who? I mean, AC Milan is up there. You lost 4 out of your 4.
That ain't looking good then, is it?
I didn't lose to you. And I didn't draw. I also played Rennes, by the way. Didn't notice that, which meant that you lost against me. Yes. So that's another point added right there. Lovely stuff. Let's tally the points up in total and see how much I've caught up. So the season 4 points is as follows. Omega Luke with 6, Omega Dad with 3, which means the total points are now Omega Luke with 12, Omega Dad with 22. Dad is getting tight, although I am still 10 points behind you, which is the 10 points I lost for getting sacked in the first place. I'm just glad I didn't get sacked the second time I was AC Milan. That's one thing. And if I could go 2-1 seasons where I don't get sacked compared to I do, then I will be happy. But that's a job for me next season, because this season you're the manager of AC Milan and you sold the player you signed 2 seasons ago.
Well, in my defence, I needed a bit more money to buy a better player than what he is.
In your defence or in your defence?
In defence.
So
no, he's a midfield player, but
okay. And instead, you signed £91 million worth of players. One of them being Vitinha from Barcelona.
This is the player I wanted to get in.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah. Speaking of Portuguese, from Porto,
here we go.
The Brazilian, Ivan Nilsson.
We like our Brazilians, don't we?
And he's a very good striker indeed.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I'll look forward to him scoring me lots of goals in the finale season.
That's the problem, isn't it? You know, I've got a really good striker in for this season, but it could just backfire me in the last season.
Now, I was really tempted, knowing that this was the last season, to just sign loads of like 38-year-olds.
You know they're all going to retire next season.
Yeah. Just like, but I didn't want to sack off the season. I think if I was ahead, I would have gone an horrible season where I would be like, let's chuck this season away and just sign terrible players.
Didn't think of it, did I?
Yeah. Let's see who I did sign, because I sold £43 million worth. I sold Asensio, who you were using.
Yeah.
Because I just found that I had better options. Now, Van Heck at centre-back. I needed a better centre-back to go alongside the ones that I've already got. And Delo is just a backup option, but he can play on both sides, which obviously is a good thing about Delo. He does that. Because I've got Dumfries still, and we still got DeMarco, who's great. I've gone back to the diamond. I loved the diamond when I was here 2 seasons ago. It worked very well. I can't remember whether it's the same player roles.
No.
The instructions, I reckon I've probably got exactly correct, because I tend to stick around. But I've got a feeling these are different.
I can't remember if Sarr played left side or did he play defensive midfielder?
Sarr played there. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it was because I had a deep line playmaker there. I don't remember the individual roles that I had in either here or up here. I think these two were the other way round. But the rest of it's probably quite close.
I mean, your defence is still looking good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Dad, you have gone to a 4-2-2-2, which is one of your favourite types of formations.
Yeah.
But it's the first time, I think, that one of us is AC Milan and we haven't done a 4-2-3-1 variation. So your best 11 looks like this. You've got an advanced playmaker on attack in that midfield, which might leave Joe Gomez a little bit exposed, but you do have 3 defenders on defensive duty as well, so that kind of helps. And Luca's on a support duty, with a complete forward on attack in Ivan Nilsson. Schedule. You've dropped some points.
Yep.
You've lost to Fiorentina.
Yeah, it was
4-3.
a bad lose. Yeah, I mean, beating Rome as well was such a good result as well. But
in the 97th minute. Okay, your first game of the season, there was a 5-0 away
started
win.
off so well.
2-0 against Sassuolo and 2-0 against Roma. Again, that top one's just a friendly. We don't know why. They always play friendlies against the club in the same nation.
Even in the same league. That's the worst.
Yeah.
As well, isn't it?
I actually did play Napoli and I drew against them. So I have also dropped points, but I haven't lost the game yet. I've also beaten Udinese, who have done quite well so far, as we've seen in this rebuild so far. 3-1 against Sampdoria away from home, and Juventus 4-2. It's a good result. We haven't checked your Champions League fixtures yet. Let's have a look at mine. Champions League. We're not playing against each other this time round, but I am playing Arsenal and Liverpool.
And Villa.
And Villa, three
Premier
English
League
clubs.
teams,
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one there. 4 British clubs.
Yeah.
With Celtic being chucked in at the end there on the 26th of January. Let's have a look at yours.
You got a dodgy one there, really. You could
That could be
there,
hard.
couldn't you? Yeah.
I think I probably might not be in the top 8.
No.
And that obviously means you play an extra round of fixtures. Champions League for you, you haven't got as hard. Oh, actually,
I don't know.
I didn't see.
Man City, Juventus, PSG, Barcelona.
That's 4 really tricky ones, actually. And 1 fairly hard one.
Yeah.
And an away trip to Turkey.
I think we're both like that, really. And we're both sort of like we could slip up here.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
It's the 5th season, but it's not the final season. Let's see what happens. And it's an Inter Milan win. The diamond again.
He was top of the league again most of the season. That's 2 seasons in a row, isn't it?
I like this league at the minute. I think I've won 3 on the banks now after not winning the first 2.
Well, the goals that we both teams scored a lot.
Both scored quite a lot. We both conceded a lot more than what we did last season.
Yeah,
absolutely. I lost 3 games though. Did I lose against you? I did. I lost the home fixture of it all. Did I win the away fixture? I did. Lovely stuff. Right, I'm curious as to the top scorers. We haven't looked at this yet, but it's the first season we checked it.
Yeah.
And we've both rinsed the top scorers there, so that's quite nice. Right, okay, we're on Inter Milan.
You got the clean sheets as well.
I did get the clean sheets, Trubin, with Magnan only getting 19. We're on Inter Milan, which is, of course, my team right now. Did I win any cups? I really need it, to be fair, because that's 4 points already, but we both gained each other a point there because of the league wins. No. Oh, that could be me done. The only good thing is you didn't eliminate me.
No.
Did we play each other in the Super Cup? We didn't. We keep avoiding each other in Super Cup somehow. But Dad, come on. Did you win the cups? No. Oh, semi-final by Atalanta, who went on and won it. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
And you lost in the round of 16 to Real Madrid, whereas I was then knocking out Barcelona at that point, and Real Madrid actually went on to win against Arsenal, who have reached the final a few times. Yeah, they knocked me out in the quarters. 2-1 on aggregate. That could have been me. Let's have a look at the league phase. We haven't done that as much. I won 5 there, so I beat... Oh, I didn't beat all of the English clubs.
No.
In fact, the English clubs, I drew against Liverpool and Arsenal, and I lost to Aston Villa. Now, I still qualified, obviously, in the top 8. You lost 3 games. Barcelona, PSG gave you an absolute whooping.
Yeah, you said about the
Monaco as
game
well,
being a difficult one, didn't you?
And you drew against Dinamo Zagreb, which is bad, actually. Oh, no, even if you did win that, you would have only have finished up here.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have mattered too much, really. But there we go. Right, Omega Dad, your last time as the AC Milan manager. Lorenzo Luca got 33, 27 for Evan Nilsson. Oh, I'm looking forward to managing those 2 bad boys.
He's just settled in, isn't he?
He has, yeah.
First season, 27 goals. That's good, isn't it?
28 years old, 27 years old. They're both in their prime.
Yeah.
As Omega Luke comes in to manage them for that final season. Right, Pulisic has done quite well
I'll
as
tell you
well.
what, he's done quite well because he's been in the team from the start.
Yeah, I think they might have given him like a bit of a boost in the winter update. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they might have because I never remember him being this good.
I looked a couple of times at a couple of players to play in that position, but it was just no one that was better than him.
Way better. Because they've also got Chuck Woozy as well, who's fairly good. I mean, he's I think all seasons we've both used him a lot.
Yeah.
It's just that he's been on the bench. Like a lot of the time, he's played half the fixtures, a majority of them from the bench. Okay, transfer budget for me for the final season. £44 million. I mean, you're at the money club right now, I think. 38 goals and 16 assists for Lautaro Martinez in the diamond. That's good. So 27 for Thuram, 17 for Profundi. That's much better. I think he's developed quite well as well. Yeah, look at that. A lot of development there. But he's reached his prime in that final season when you're about to take over. Transfer budget. £68 million.
Well, it's a good wage budget as well. So
yeah. For the final time, I will retire both of our managers. And they're trying to keep me around. They love the diamonds so much, look. But while I'm doing that, I'll tell you the points as we go into the year number 6. So the season 5 points are as followed. Omega Luke with 5, Omega Dad with 1. Meaning the total points as we go into the final season is Omega Luke with 17 and Omega Dad with 23. Now, I didn't sell one player, but I did buy 2. Now, I actually only bought a backup goalkeeper because I didn't realise I didn't have one. And I didn't spend that much money because I had already splashed it all on Liberati, who is... maybe I just signed him because of the name. I don't know. Andrea Liberati just sounds amazing. Great name. But he is a very good... new gen, only 19, plays in that shadow striker role that I love, or that centre attacking midfield role, or up front. Don't know what his best position is. He's very good in terms of passing ability, that 18 for vision, 17 passing, 18 technique is great, but he can finish and he's good dribbler, good agility and great flair. So there's a lot to like about him.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So, I'm not quite sure. But, £56 million, he scored 3 and got 3 assists in 4 games. Really hit the ground running as Andrea Liberati. Now, the difference in transfer windows is very different from us. I won't show you the team yet. Let's have a look at Dad's transfers. Because he sold £106 million, including again selling a player that he bought 2 seasons previous in Yves Bissouma.
Needed the money again.
And Barella. Which I was shocked with.
Yeah.
And you signed an ex-AC Milan player in Sandro Tonali. In fact, you bought 3 Newcastle players in Isak as well, and Koopmeiners, who, of course, has moved from Atalanta a couple of seasons before. You actually got a bit of a bargain there because they paid £30 million more. And he's only 30 years old, so not too bad, really. But you also got 2 free signings. You got Shatalo in from Ajax, who's a really good centre-back option. And you got Gregor Kobel, who's a better goalkeeper option than what you had.
So I think I've strengthened the squad.
You went too many seasons without signing a goalkeeper, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You just had to get one in.
I don't like it. I get to all...
Yeah, you just need a new goalkeeper. Tactically, Dad, you're lining up with a 4-2-2, but with one winger. And locking in Koopmeiners. Because if you didn't, the best 11 puts Carboni in there, who I still think is really good. I wouldn't have locked him in.
I was like that, whether to lock him in or no. I think I don't know.
I wouldn't have done it, but you made that decision to do it.
I don't like locking players, and that's the worst thing about it usually. I don't know.
He is also out injured for the first 9 weeks as well with a torn hamstring, so you won't be seeing him for the next, until maybe Christmas.
Yeah. So he's going to play anyway, then, isn't he?
So he will play a lot at that point. As well as Pafundi as well, who I bought, who is a cracking player now. Shoved out on the wings.
Yeah, I mean, I nearly went for the diamond that you were winning the league with.
You didn't know how to build one.
They're falling apart.
Yeah, didn't know how to build the diamond, so he had to go elsewhere. What am I lining up like? The last 2 times I've been AC Milan manager, I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. Today is different. Look at this. It is a 4-1-1-1-3 formation. I had to save it. Do you remember why we had to save this, right? Every time I built this tactic, we press continue, I'd come back and it would ask me to start building a new tactic. No idea why it wouldn't just save the tactic in there.
Probably thought, what are you doing, you idiot?
Yeah. And I had to eventually save the tactic on my file so that I could, every time it would get rid of it, I could load it. But for some reason, once I'd saved it, it wouldn't wipe it.
Seeing that you're so far behind, that's a big chance to take because there's a lot of green space in that pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, but I need to go for it.
Oh, I know that. I can understand why you've played 3 up front.
My only concern is I would much rather the midfield have Joe Gomez in there. That would probably be the midfield that I would probably go for. I think mentally he is just way better than Yusuf Munsa, who is still really good. And I think that's what I would probably have changed if I was to rethink it. Maybe is nail somebody in, but I don't like nailing somebody in that much.
I went for a safe tactic, didn't I? I almost done the same tactic as what you did.
Yeah.
You've gone for a wild one, so this is either a bust, isn't it? You either works for you or it don't, and you get sacked again.
Absolutely. And if it does really well, Patreon members and the channel members are going to be like, I want that tactic, and you can do so on the £5 tier. You can gain access to it patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming, or pressing the join button underneath the video, and you can get the save game file at the end of this season, which means this tactic will be there for you to have. Not to mention, you can play around with the save, have a gander, but you won't have a look at all of the statistics, because of course they get wiped every time we resign, but you still have a gander at the players, etc., and stuff like that, or pinch the tactic. You might not want to, though. Who knows? Let's see. Schedule. Yeah, you won't want it. I've lost against Fiorentina. 96th minute winner, by the way.
They done me in the 97th minute, didn't they?
Yeah. And I drew 0-0 to Genoa. Imagine playing that tactic and it finishing 0-0.
I can't believe it, can you?
Did beat Napoli 2-0 though, and I did beat Roma, arguably the two harder teams out of the four that I played, 4-2. So there we go. I've got a feeling that I might get stuffed a lot in the Champions League for this tactic, but we'll see, I guess. I've got to play Lazio at the end, but 3 German sides in there. And Arsenal as well is going to be tricky. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. Dad, with your 4-2-2, you managed a good start to the season, but one weird result there. Maybe thanks to being down to 10 men.
Yeah.
Although you did go down.
I mean, for a change, I actually beat Lazio.
Yeah, 2-0. Marcus Thuram getting both. Torino was also a 2-0, and Palermo 2-1. So it's been a good start.
For me. A better start for me than it is for you, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Champions League fixtures. You got Porto and Sporting, and I'm playing Benfica. Barcelona's in there. Liverpool and Chelsea, 3 in a row.
I've got 3 Premier League sides.
Yeah, Tottenham. Oh, imagine if Tottenham be the team that knock you out of the Champions League. Here's hoping. That would be hilarious. It's the 6th and final season. I've got a bit of a job on my hands because I'm about 6 points behind, but it's all to play for as far as I'm concerned. Let's see how we do in season number 6. And I've won the league. I've won the league, and I'll tell you how I've done it, because we finished on 24 wins each, 9 draws each, 5 losses each, which means we play a playoff, and you went into that playoff top. You beat me in the first game 2-0, and I beat you in the second 4-0.
Chucked it away. Absolutely chucked it away.
As far as I know, it's the only league that does a playoff to determine the winner when it's not done on goal difference.
Yeah.
Surely we didn't have the same goal difference as well. No.
No.
So you had a higher goal difference. But the rules of the league, you play a playoff instead, which is fairly new, I think. You went...
Oh, no.
Yeah, you went into that as top. I actually dropped off quite a lot. I was down to 5th at one point.
So I must have lost a couple of silly games near the end of the season.
Yeah.
What's my end of season finish like?
Well, we'll have a look in a second. You didn't lose any there. You lost there to Bologna, which was the 3rd to last game of the season. And you drew to Atalanta. And you drew to Lecce. And you lost to Juve. So you... Ooh, and you drew to me, which we haven't checked yet. So you had a bad run of like...
I chucked it away.
Yeah. No winning 5 at one point there.
I was walking the league then.
Considering like... one of us finished on, what was it, 94 points and didn't win the league.
Yeah.
I just won the league with 81. I lost 5. I lost against you once, and I didn't beat you.
No.
So that draw was obviously what we've seen there, which means you do actually get a point. Although I win the league and get a point for beating you in the playoff, but you also get a point for beating me in the playoff. You get another point for beating me in the league. We're on Omega Luke and AC Milan.
Come on, I need a cup.
That's closed the gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Winner of the Coppa Italia as well. Let's go. Beat Napoli in the final on penalties after a 4-4 game. Look at the goals I'm scoring, Dan. Everybody's going to be wanting this tactic now. A domestic double. Now, I didn't win the Champions League, but I did get knocked out by Real Madrid, and that's not too bad whatsoever. No. I will take that. I didn't play you in the Super Cup either, so there's no points there. You need to win that Champions League.
Come on.
And I don't think you done it. And also, you were eliminated from the Coppa Italia by AC Milan. The day gets better. We drew the first game. I beat you in the second, which means 2 points for me. I got sacked earlier on in this. I had minus 10 points. I can't believe
I can't work this out on the top of my head, but you were...
I think I've won it. Round of 16.
That Coppa Italia could have just won it for you.
Yeah, the 2-point swing there. I was knocking out Benfica. You lost to Manchester City. Let's have a look. Did we go... Oh, I said about getting battered in the Champions League. I was wrong. I was wrong. I lost one.
I can't believe that tactic, how well you done with that.
Away to Bayern Munich. Only 3-2. I won 7. Oh, I was battering teams. Oh, I bet you were crying that day. 4-0. Wow.
I took a 4 bottom Tottenham was. So how did I get on against Tottenham then?
You lost to Chelsea.
Right.
Drew to Liverpool. That's good.
That's 2 good draws.
Yeah. You beat Tottenham 4-0.
So we both went to London and won 4-0.
Yeah, which you needed to qualify in that top 8. So you did that emphatically, really. I lost in the quarter-final then to Real Madrid. 4-1 on aggregate. So, yeah, they just 3-0
Real
in the
Madrid's going to
second
be
leg.
thereabouts every year, don't you?
Yeah.
Not
They
like
didn't go on
PSG.
and win it, though. PSG beat them in the final at the Nou Camp. Goals-wise, Omega Dad, 28 for Lautaro Martinez. Isaac with 21. Marcus Thuram, not enough goals in there, is there?
No.
Whereas,
That cost me.
not that many. 26 for Luca, 21 for Liberati. How good is he now? Oh, it's a good decision to bring him in, wasn't it? I think he's my best player now. He is.
Yeah.
According to that, he is my best player. And Leao got 17 and 14. That was really good. So transfer budget, before we look at the points, if you were to take this on, £42 million for AC Milan. Dad, £35 million at Inter Milan.
We both have really high wage budgets, but they were in the 600s. So
Yeah, so you should get quite a few on that.
a few million more on that, can you?
But let's tally up the points and find out the final result. So the season points for season number 6 is Omega Luke with 11, Omega Dad with 2, which means the total points are Omega Luke with 28, Omega Dad with 25. Well, there we have it, Dad. I actually beat by 3 points in the end. I can't believe that.
No. Alaba comeback. Well done.
Considering at
That's all
one
I can
point
say.
I was
I mean, really,
minus 10.
You could say you beat by 13 points because you didn't get because you finished that season virtually, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you finished 3rd
Yeah.
when you got sacked as well. So I can't see why they sacked you.
I was 19 points behind you at that
Yeah.
point. I think what won it for me was knocking you out of cups.
Yeah.
And that is the difference in that. There was a couple of cups that I maybe not even won, but I knocked you out of it, and that made the difference.
It's a 3-point swing sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including, of course, that playoff that we had at the end there. There was another couple
okay.
of points from that.
Sometimes you just can't write things in you, but
No.
that's a hell of a finish, really. I mean, that wins it.
Yeah,
really.
because
I
that
would say it was
determined
top of
who won the
tally,
league.
really, but it wasn't really. That was 4 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, to win the
So,
league.
Yeah.
So there we go. I really hope you enjoyed this one. This was a little bit different, swapping clubs.
It was confusing, but it was good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully it was a lot easier for you to follow with the fact that we got the lights behind whoever club that we were on at the time. It was very difficult when we were swapping to then go, what team am I now? And then like seeing it at the end and go, no, again, what team was I? It was, but I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other ideas that we could do with videos like this, we want to just put a little bit of a spin on it. We've got one coming up as well for the FA Cup final that we'll be bringing out. Now, I'll be on holiday when it drops because I'll be sunning it up in Menorca, but we are going to get that one finished for you to make sure it comes out for the week of the FA Cup final.
Yep.
I'm going to be Man United. I know a lot of you wanted me to be the other team, but
We still put a twist
we
in
still put a twist in it as well, as Dad as Manchester City. So make sure you check that out next week. But on screen right now is Rangers versus Celtic. And if you haven't checked that one out, I really suggest you do. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out the Patreon if you want the save game file or the tactic, or of course the channel memberships. Leave a comment with your suggestions and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.